Friend, recently Chinese and Russian planes were seen carrying out survey around Japan and Taiwan. This was thought to be arm twisting techniques by China, and also Japan felt a dent on its sovereignty, so scurried off aircrafts in that airspace, and these Chinese aircrafts returned back saying that they were only having military drills. But then, is China going to attack Taiwan with a full-scale war? Needs to be seen. Though there are plans which are in the offing that China may launch something to take over Taiwan by 2027. So we'll have to keep watching about this program. But before we proceed, I would like you to please volunteer for our NGO, Uma Dream Foundation, where we teach the underprivileged children because they also have a right for education. Now moving forward on this video, please see it till the end so that about this analysis between China and Taiwan is understood properly, and why is this whole gambit happening in this specific geopolitical area of the world. As we know, China has intensified military pressure and drills around Taiwan, signaling capability and intent to potentially take the island by force, with some US intelligence suggesting readiness by 2027, like I said, though an invasion faces massive hurdles like naval dominance, significant economic costs, especially for global chips, and complex logistics. While Taiwan conducts civil defense drills and reforms its military, most Taiwanese believe an attack is unlikely very soon. But China's preparation involves developing amphibious landing tactics with civilian ships, but full operational readiness for a large-scale invasion is still debated. Though the build-up by the China's People's Liberation Army is modernizing rapidly, conducting large-scale exercises encompassing countries like Russia, simulating invasion scenarios, including beach landings. And what about Target 2027? The US intelligence points to 2027 as the PLS centenary as a potential deadline for readiness, though not necessarily an invasion date. Then there are exercises being carried out by China with civilian vessels like ferries and cargo ships to transport troops, which is to overcome the logistic gap in the amphibious operations. Then frequent air and naval incursions into Taiwan's air defense zone are common, acting as intimidation and testing defenses. The potential invasion scenario, as analyzed, shows softening defense, destroy air assets, and break Taiwan's will. That is, with initial missile barrage, and then an amphibious assault by crossing the strait, by landing troops and securing beachheads, and finally the ground offensive to break out from the landing zone, targeting key areas like Taipei. And the other tactics will be to create blockades, cyber attacks, and severing the undersea cables so that communication is cut off. Then there are challenges and deterrents to all this, because China still struggles with sea control and does not have sufficient landing crafts for a massive force. And then an invasion would devastate the global GDP, especially hitting the semiconductor industry, as Taiwan produces most advanced chips. And obviously the international response the US and the allies are increasing military support for Taiwan, aiming to deter aggression. And what is Taiwan's response to the whole thing? Preparing for war and avoid war. Taiwan is undertaking military reforms, basically, and expanding conscription and investing in defense to deter conflicts. Then the civil military drills, which are mandatory, are being done to train the civilians for potential attack. In essence, there are chances of an offensive somewhere in 2027 as seen by the US intelligence, and also Taiwan is gearing for it in case it happens. Though military drills are being carried out around in this area, that is the South China Sea, and Taiwan has its own strong points, because if something happens to China, the semiconductor industry will totally collapse, causing a big dent in the global GDP and also to the electronic world. So we will have to keep a watch on what China keeps doing in this area, and also my channel, so that I can keep giving you these small little updates to make you very well versed with international relations. I am also available to you for life skills. So please feel free to call me on the number given below, and I am there totally free to take you up the ladder of success. Jai Hind.